Greetings and welcome back to the channel. My name is Flo and today we are going to discuss a 10.3 lineup for China in ground. But before we do that, I have to address something. There will be a change regarding how I make my gameplay videos. I figured out that the last time I published a video, which was also the first time I published a video, it was quite tough for me to play and then give some meaningful and educational comment to the situations I'm in. And well, that's just because I can't, like, I'm a man. I can't do two things at once. That's just not how it works. And therefore, I will just show you guys some gameplay I had in some specific situations, and I will comment those in order to give you the most efficient information and also to show you some situations that occur often. And yeah, at this point I would say let's break it down and dive into the lineup itself. So basically what we have here is my 10-3 lineup. We have the ZDZ 96A prototype. We have the CDC 96A. We have the Antelope. We have QN 506, the Q5A, and the C9W. So I would start right away with the ZDZ 96A prototype. This tank, you basically cannot exchange this one. I know it's premium. I have it in this lineup because I personally wanted to have two main battle tanks because one is just not enough for me. If it works for you, it's completely fine. It can work. You don't need it, but there is no such replacement for this. The only tank you can basically replace in this lineup the only two tanks are the Antelope and the QN506. You can replace the QN506 with the ZLT11 or the Chinese BMP3 replacement, or you can replace the Antelope with the PGZ08, which is, in my opinion, the better solution because it has super good ahead ammunition, and yeah, for me, it just overall works way better. Okay, in terms of how you play this lineup, I personally recommend, as always, you spawn in with a light tank. With this particular light tank, I highly recommend you to get into an open area, because with those fire and forget missiles, you have a huge advantage when it comes to firing and forget about it. Get yourself into cover. You also have, and this is for all of these tanks, except the Antelope, of course, you have high quality thermal vision. At least for the gunner, you have for all tanks second generation thermal vision devices. And for this one, you have also, I think you even have, this is even third generation thermal for the CITV up there. It's very useful for scouting. So yeah. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a little bit sick, so this is why my voice sounds a little bit cracked. Okay, next up we can decide between either one of these two. Basic difference between these two tanks is the prototype has these soft kill systems to defeat incoming missiles or to distract them, better off. And it has composite wedges which do not blow off when you shoot them. The ZDZ96A has ERA wedges which blow off, but they are more effective, I can tell you, than the 96A prototype. Both of them share a horrible reverse speed, but a very decent survivability. So in general, you want to play this lineup rather defensively. What you also need to keep in mind is that you have no gun depression at all. So very, very bad. And you have almost no armor in your lower front plate, so make sure to protect or to hide it. Okay, after this, you spawned in with the ZDZ96A or 96AP. Is overall it's pretty balanced main battle tank. Okay, it has no reverse speed, but if anything else, I think, okay, after you made some points with the 96A or 96AP, you can spawn in with close air support. And this is either Q5A or Z9W. The Q5A you might use if there is little to no enemy air presence, and you can just shrug off the enemy ground forces. The Z9W is a little bit unique because I personally use this helicopter mostly for defeating enemy air presence because of its super good TY90 missiles. So these have, I think, IRCCM 35G's overload. Let me check. These have IRCCM and 20G's overload, but they act like they have 30G's overload, for real. So basically I use this helicopter to defeat off enemy air presence when there is some. For anti-ground purposes, okay, you can use it, but you only get 2 of these AGMs, and yeah, I don't know if that's enough. For me personally, I run it most of the time. I run it with 4, but I also will show you in this video how it works with the anti-tank guided missile. Then you have the Q5A. You will use this mainly for anti-ground purpose, because problem is you can fight in this thing. I also I had some pretty good air battles in this bad boy, but in order to fight with this airplane, you need to get rid of all your ordnance, and then you get useless in terms of ground pounding. So I would suggest to not do that. And last but not least, you get the Antelope. Honestly, for me, it's not the best choice. I just have it in this lineup because it's also 10.3, and I wanted to show you guys a clean 10.3 lineup. But usually I run the PGZ 08 or even the PGZ 04 instead of this one because it's just better. Personally, didn't find it very useful. I mean, yes, the missiles, if you lock the enemy from, basically from every aspect, he's pretty much dead if he's close enough, because these missiles are highly maneuverable, and also they have IRCCM. Yeah, 35G's overload, IRCCM, all spec. But 3 kilometers lock range, yeah, I don't know. For me, it didn't work very well. I rather use it for scouting, to be honest. And yeah, at this point I would say let's start right into the battle. Okay, let's start right into with QN506. So what you see here at the beginning is exactly what I told you, that you basically spawn in and you try to lob off all your fire and forget missiles. This particular situation, especially this map here, is ideal for gameplay like that. You can also use your autocannon, suitable for fighting light armored vehicles. You have around about 100mm of penetration, if I'm not wrong. What you can also do is you can use your lead indicator to fight off helicopters. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If I have longer air engagements, I use my second belt with the HE shells. Here is a particular situation I wanted to show you guys, where you can clearly see that if you're using your fire and forget missiles and you're facing an enemy that is covered in smoke, you will have a lot of trouble fighting him, because those fire and forget missiles easily lose track upon enemies covered in smoke screens. What I will show you here is something that happens a lot if you're driving QN506. The problem with this tank is all the crew is up in the front and they're separated from the ammo compartment. So when the enemy shoots you, he basically only shoots your ammo compartment. You run out of ammo, but your crew's still alive, and then you're basically a driving coffin that can't fight anything around. Yeah, you can see it happened 3 times in a row. Next up we have the ZDZ96A. It's a very well-rounded MBT, so you have a pretty decent cannon. You have basically no reverse speed. You have absolutely no gun depression. But what you have is a lot of survivability, especially in the turret compartment. So even without your blow-off ERA panels in the front of your turret, you're still quite survivable. So it's also what you can see right here, that I can tank a lot of shots. If I smoke myself and the enemy doesn't really know where to shoot me at, you can easily win engagements where you would have died with other MBTs in the first 1 or 2 shots. What I want to show you here is a very awkward situation where I have to blame Gaijin for, I don't know what they do with those little pesky metal constructs, but it seems like they can easily fend off APFSDS rounds like it's nothing. These are some situations that really, yeah, that drive me crazy. But anyways, we have the ZDZ96A prototype here. Also, it's very similar to the 96A, of course. Also a very good tank, very high survivability. Yeah. We already talked about the difference between the 96A and the 96A prototype. However, of course, extremely similar, also in terms of gameplay. So if you're not sure if you should get it, you could basically get it, yeah, but there's really very little difference to the Tech 3 version, and I think there is more unique vehicles when it comes to premium. Okay, next up we have the Antelope, and this is basically, yeah, what you can see in this video is exactly what you will see every match you play. So basically you have a super strong missile, 35G overload, IR, CCM. And after you fended off 1 or 2 aircrafts in close range engagements, all you can do is scout. Basically, you're on a pretty fast platform. I think it's a, what is that, Isuzu, Daihatsu, I don't know. Pretty nimble, but however, you have no cannon, so you can't do anything. You can play a little bit Need for Speed, like I do right here with good old Exolix, but yeah. There's not much to say to that one. Enjoy the ride. Okay, next up we have the Z9W, a very agile helicopter. This configuration I'm showing you right now is my anti-tank configuration or my balance configuration. However, I said it already, you only have 2 of those HJ8C missiles. They hit extremely hard, but yeah, it's only 2 of them. So also you only have 3 kilometers of range, keep that in mind. But elsewise it works pretty fine, can work pretty fine. So here you can see another tank engagement. Here I'm almost at the maximum distance. What I can say about these missiles is that they do not get wobbly. Like there are some missiles that get extremely wobbly over distance, but these don't. Definitely not. Yeah, and what I will show you here is, for me, the main purpose of this helicopter is attacking aircraft, and it does it very well. So you just lob these things like a hellfire and they annihilate everything. Amazing. Okay, next up, last but not least, we have Q5, the Fantan. A very potent attacker, very precise missiles. However, it tends to compress a little bit at higher speeds, so you have to be very careful in maneuvering, especially if you get too close to the ground, as you can see here. Yeah. Also, what you need to keep in mind is you're at a battle rating where the enemy has infrared guided missiles and stuff, so you basically need to fly a little bit lower. Yeah, but anyways, super precise. So yeah, all in all, a very potent ground attacker. Okay, my summary for this lineup. It is very situational. You have to play it very defensively. You have to play it very slow, because you have, however, no reverse speed with the ZDZ96As. These two, however, are very good at CQC. You can use them. Also, feel free to check out QN506. I know it's a rather rare vehicle, but I just love it, and I wanted to show you guys that one. C9W, very good anti-air helicopter in my opinion. So all in all, it's a very good lineup. I like it a lot. I also played it a lot. Okay, that's basically the end of the video. I have to say thank you. Please forgive me. I'm a little bit sick. I hope you don't mind. If you want me to do anything different, or if you have any suggestions in terms of lineups you want to see, or in terms of other video formats you'd like to see, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. Yeah, and as always, please subscribe to the channel, and if you liked the video, leave me a like. Would mean a lot to me. Thank you. Till the next time.